Let's hop straight into it. But before I do so, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Alonza. How you doing? Today I wanted to share something I read in a book. I came across this phrase that said, separate yourself through actions. And I wanted to talk about an experience that I had a while back and how it kind of changed the way that I view myself. Time for a quick story, and what better example to use than yours truly. Have you ever sat around with a group of friends or classmates and you all just threw out some ideas and some common goals and aspirations that you may share with each other? Because I have. Before I left home, I would always talk about what I was going to do, but I never talked about how I was going to do it. Now, for me, these dreams and aspirations, they were just that. They were like a blueprint to a mansion, but I didn't have the paper or pencil, and I didn't know how I was going to get it. I feel like that's the case a lot of times, especially with my generation and older generations, on not knowing how we're going to get to where we're trying to get to. And this is why proper planning is so important, because it was no one's plan to build failure. I can almost guarantee you it was no one's plan to be homeless or not have a job or not be in their dream career field. So, how do we separate ourselves? How do we plan to get ahead of the competition? I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't be making this video. I'm trying to spread awareness so that proper planning can be taken into account when it comes to doing something like taking a big step or making a big purchase or whatever it may be in your own life. Now, what I learned is creativity. Creativity is very important when it comes to separating yourself. Creativity is the opposite of mediocrity. Mediocrity is doing the same thing over and over. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, hoping for a different result. So, how do we prevent mediocrity and insanity? Well, we gotta use our brains to think outside the box on different ways to gain knowledge and gain different resources that separates us from our peers to our left and our right. And luckily for us, in the digital age that we live in, it's so easy to obtain information, whether it's through ordering a book online or even just searching something like how to plan properly. I guarantee you is a video on multiple platforms that talk about different ways to get things done, whether it's applying for a job, applying for a house, applying for a loan. As I stated in the last video, I knew that in order for me to go up, I needed to go away. So, how do we go about removing ourselves from people who just want a dream? Some people don't want to wake up to reality, and that's perfectly fine. It's okay to be content where you are. No one's bashing you. That is okay. But if you feel like you're not reaching your full potential and you feel like the people around you aren't helping you to elevate, then you may need to separate. It's just simple as that, because no one's gonna come to save you, and that's life, and that's okay. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay to outgrow friends. It's a part of life. As a tree grows, it loses many branches and many leaves through the many seasons that it grows. If in one season you lose 30 branches and only 2 leaves, or vice versa, that's okay, because you're growing towards your goal. And if it's not benefiting you, then it's okay to get rid of waste. The more you grow, the more your mind matures. I was home recently and I was having a conversation with an old friend of mine, and we were talking about something, and he said something that kind of I was drawn aback by. We were talking and I was asking what's going on in his life, and he said that he was manifesting money. When he said that, I immediately withdrew from the conversation, because at that point I realized that he wasn't taking it serious, because there is no way that you expect to earn a living or make something without doing nothing. The law of equal transaction. You can't create nothing out of nothing. You cannot create nothing out of nothing. It is impossible. Energy is not created nor destroyed. It's only passed from one object to another. So if your energy is to attract money, yet you're not moving in a direction of money, then what are you gonna attract? You're gonna attract nothing. So sometimes I don't even feel the need to, I guess, interact in some conversations, because some conversations can actually zap you of your energy, because sometimes some people are so lost in their own ways that they don't want change. They're content with mediocrity. And as I said earlier, that's okay. Different strokes for different folks. Now back to equivalent exchange, you must be willing to give in order to gain something. And that's with anything in life. In order to gain strength in the gym, you must go and give time. Time is one of the most valuable things that we sometimes take for granted, because we view time in retrospect. We only look at the major events rather than the whole spectrum of time. Viewing things in retrospect is what causes time to speed up or fly by, as we like to say. If we were able to use time to its full potential, there is nothing imaginable that you can't do. Like when you spend 30 minutes scrolling on your phone, you can use that time drafting a plan for what it is that you're trying to do or get accomplished. I'm not perfect, no one is. But if you look at some of the top dogs in the wealth field, healthcare, or whatever your favorite industry may be, and you look at the people at the top of the food chain or the pyramid, they understand the concept of time and how to use it to make it benefit them. So, how will you use it to benefit you? Well, let me tell you, by separating yourself through actions. Now, what are these actions? Well, to get out of the majority, the 100%, 100% of people are thinking, dreaming, drafting plans. That's easy. You put yourself ahead of 50% by just going out and doing what it is you're trying to do. By simply going to try and obtain knowledge, or even researching and writing down something, you're putting yourself ahead by starting the snowball effect. Little small actions that lead to bigger things downhill. Even something as small as figuring out what kind of business you should apply for if you're about to start one, whether it's a LLC, S corporation, C corporation, nonprofit, or if you just want to be a sole proprietor. It's the small things that leads to bigger results down the line. And the missing ingredient to this whole thing is ambition, commitment. Commitment and ambition both go hand in hand, because ambition is the passion you have towards something, and commitment is the inability to give up no matter what turmoil you're faced with, or no matter what adversity comes your way, because you know that in the end your actions are going to have a big payoff in the end. And remember, faith without works is dead. Don't allow your dream to die. Separate yourself through actions. Start today. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.